My name is Michael, and I would like to welcome you to this practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be doing the Breathe for Change foundational sequence, and we're working on the preparing the body portion of the series today. We're going to start in a comfortable seat. So I invite you to find a seat on the mat that feels easy. We call it easy seat. For me, that's sitting on the tops of my legs here with a block right under my hips, just keeping my hips above my knees. This might also be sitting cross-legged with your hips on the block if you like to, or sitting on a blanket to protect your joints from the mat. And when you find this seat, I invite you to relax your hands on your legs or in your lap. And if it feels right, maybe closing your eyes or softening your gaze down towards the tip of your nose. And here, just finding your breath, bringing awareness to your breathing. Feeling the air, perhaps in your nostrils or in your lungs as you inhale. Feeling your belly come back to neutral as you exhale. There's no need to try to change or control the breath here. We're just noticing. This awareness of the breath is called pranayama in yoga practice. And if this is all you do for the rest of the night, you've practiced yoga. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, as we find some movement in the body, I invite you to drop your left hand down to the side and maybe inhale your right arm up over your head, leaning over the left and finding a nice easy stretch in your right side body. Breathing here, feeling the rib cage expand and open on the inhale, lengthening the spine and stretching maybe just a little more on the exhale. Come on back to neutral spine. And dropping the right hand now to the right side, inhaling the left arm up, lengthening the spine and exhaling into a stretch here. Very gently exploring this side to side plane of motion in our spine. Inhaling into the rib cage. On the next inhale, coming back to center. Now you might find your right hand on the outside of your left knee here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist as you look over the left. In a very gentle twist here. We're not forcing. Remember to breathe here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, coming back to center, bringing the left hand to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Maybe finding a little more twist on the next exhale. And coming back to center. Let's go ahead and move our block out of the way here. And we're going to come into a tabletop So hands and knees on the mat. Try to get your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Lengthen the spine. Rotate your armpits closed so that the tops of your arms, the inside of your elbows are pointing to the front. Lengthen from the top of the head to the hips. And on the exhale, dropping the head, tilting the hips forward, arching the back. Cat. Inhale, lift the head, bring the chest up and forward, drop the belly. Cow. Exhale, rounding the shoulders, rounding the spine, bringing the gaze back towards your navel. Inhale, dropping the belly, opening the chest, gaze up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Maybe do 2 more rounds with the pace of your own breath here. And when you're ready, join me back in neutral spine. We're going to tuck the toes under, lengthen the spine, close the armpits, and lift the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Allow the shoulders to soften away from the ears, maybe bicycling the legs by bending the right knee and then the left. Allowing the heels to fall towards the earth, but our goal is not to get them to touch the floor. Our goal is to lift our hips and find length in the spine and to stay connected to our breath. On the next inhale, dropping the knees, maybe bringing the knees towards the outside of the mat, flattening the toes and dropping the hips back towards the feet, bringing the head down towards the mat into child's pose. It may feel restorative to have your head on the mat. It might also help to have your hands or a block that you can rest your forehead on, bringing the floor up closer to your head. Child's pose and downward facing dog are 2 of our restorative poses in yoga. And now's a good time just to remember that you can always come back to either of these poses, these restorative poses, anytime during your practice that your body is telling you that this is what's right. Everything in yoga is optional, so do what you need to do for your practice to feel right for you. When you're ready, if you haven't stretched your hands out, come back up to tabletop. And we're going to tuck the toes under and lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Now roll the spine forward, chest towards your hands till your shoulders are over your wrists, knees up in a high plank or knees down, whichever is right for you, and breathe here, finding length in your spine. On the next exhale, dropping the knees and chest to the mat, knees, chest, and chin, Ashtanga Pranam. And inhale, drag the chest forward, face up into a low cobra. And exhale back through tabletop, tucking the toes under and lift into upward facing dog. We'll try that sequence one more time. Inhale into plank. Exhale down to knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, drag the chest up, forward through the hands, lifting the gaze, slight bend in the back, low cobra. Exhaling back, tucking the toes into downward facing dog. Good. Bring your gaze up to your hands and walk or step the feet up towards the top of your mat. And exhale down, allowing the top of your head to fall towards the top of your feet. Relaxing here, bending the knees, breathing. Seeing how much you can relax and release the spine and the hips on each exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to drop the hips and hinge up, protecting our low back by engaging the core, bringing the arms up, overhead, and dropping those hands down, down, down to heart center. This is Samastiti. You can open the hands out to the side in tall mountain. Reconnecting with the breath here. Let's find a strong mountain. We're going to build it from the floor up. You should feel your feet in contact with the mat, the whole foot, weight equally distributed between the ball of your big toe, the outside or pinky edge of your foot, and your heel. Soften the knees and rotate the upper legs out, keeping the hips open to the front. Engage your belly to support and protect your lower back. Keep the collarbone open, shoulders down and away from the ears, allowed to fall softly back down your back. Find your gaze to the front, like there's a string on the top of your head, lifting you up nice and tall. So we're not looking up, but looking straight ahead. And this is mountain. On the next inhale, we'll bring our arms up. And on the exhale, swan dive down, hinge at the hips, protecting the low back, to forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, hands on your shins to flat back. Exhale, all the way back down, forward fold. Your hands may be on the floor, they may be on your ankles or your shins here in forward fold. Just a complete release of the top of the head towards the top of the feet here. Inhale, slight bend in the knees as we hinge from the hip up. And bringing the hands back down into mountain pose or Tadasana. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, protect the shoulders. Reverse swan dive up. Exhale, long spine. Nice, very nice. We're going to do a sun salutation A next. So if you already have a sun salutation in your practice, you can go ahead and start now. For everyone else, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like, and we'll go through it step by step, okay? So it's going to start off the same way as what we were just doing, with an inhale up and an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Now on the exhale, bend the knees till your hands can touch the mat and you can step back into your plank or your low plank. Find your breath and length here. On the next exhale, so deep breath in, and exhale will lower down into chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin. And inhale, bring the chest forward through the hands into low cobra. We're not pressing with the hands in low cobra, or if you have an upward facing dog in your practice, lifting up off the hips, protecting the lower back into an upward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, downward dog. Look at the top of the mat between your hands, and as you inhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So there are a few options or variations in there. And we're going to do it again. So you can try them out, see which ones work for you, have fun with it. It's okay to feel a little playful and just experiment to see what feels best in your body, okay? Let's do it again together one more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, high plank or low plank. Inhale, extend, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga or 8-point pose, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale up. Exhale, back, hips lift, downward facing dog. Bring the gaze between the hands. Inhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hinging at the hips, arms come up. And exhale, hands come back down to heart center. That's the preparing the body portion of our practice. Here you're pretty warmed up. Spine is moved in all different directions. You found openness in the chest and shoulders, in the hips. Learned how to hold the arms so that the